You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the number one horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Good Friday morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek, coming to you from Ocala, Florida.
And I am Jamie Jennings, and I'm coming to you from Norman, Oklahoma. And you're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Friday, June 28th. It's almost July.
I know.
No. Episode 3464 brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. Good morning, Horse World.
It's Friday, and another weekend of riding is a few short hours away. Jamie and Glenn are here to help you make it through the day with some fun guests and some really bad ads. Enjoy the show.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this day before the weekend. We have...
It is crazy. My whole world is based on this podcast, Glenn. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Those are the days I do the show. Well, I didn't do Monday, and I'm having a very hard time understanding it's Friday. It feels like Wednesday, and I just was very confused reading it while you hear me kind of hesitate. Yeah. It's because
I thought I got the date wrong again.
I was like, it's not Friday, it's Wednesday. It's just amazing how like one little detail of your schedule just throws your whole self off. Yesterday, I thought it was Tuesday all day. It's weird.
It's Friday, and I'm happy about that. We did a lot of shows this week. Ivan McClellan joins us to talk about the adventures of creating the book 8 Seconds, Black Rodeo Culture, and about the successful 8 Seconds Juneteenth Rodeo that they put on that was sold out. Our British correspondent, Katie, joins us and updates us on the British Olympic teams that have all been named, and other news from England, plus some really bad ads. We had some good ones this week, too. You know how you always talk about the Nextdoor app? And we belong to all the neighborhood Facebook pages.
Yeah.
There was one put out. We live in a community called Marion Oaks. And, oh, by the way, if you're watching Chopper Cops, most of the high-speed chases start in our community. And I just cannot believe the Facebook pages. And it's the same thing every day and every week, the same posts. And somebody put out the Marion Oaks bingo. It's like a bingo card with all of the things that people say every day or every week. And this is whether it's a Nextdoor or your neighborhood Facebook page, anywhere you live. You want to hear some of them?
I do. And I feel like they did not... I've got a couple more that I hear all the time.
Well, I have to start with this one because I talked about Chopper Cops. Why is there so much police activity, especially in our neighborhood?
Because you live in Florida.
Yeah. Yep, that's the second one. Did anyone hear gunshots? We hear that yep. One's all the time. You must get that one all the time too.
The title on every post in Nextdoor, it could be any of these. Yep. Like, what's the best place for air conditioner repairman?
Yep.
Or one that is that on the list? Yeah.
No, it's just that one I hear. There was 5 of those this morning.
One that we get a lot. It's so creepy. Like, it's like these people didn't grow up, you know, when we grew up, which is somebody knocked on my door and they were trying to sell something. It was very suspicious. They were looking in the window. They're casing my house. I called the police and I made a report.
Yeah, you can't knock on anybody's door anymore.
No. My Ring doorbell camera saw this guy and he looked really scared. No, just a guy trying to
Another one that we get around here. I don't know if littering is a big problem in Oklahoma, but it's a huge problem here. And so, like every day, it's who's doing all this littering? It looks terrible. Now, they have, I must say, this community has a whole bunch of people that go around every week and clean it all up. But then the next day, it's full of litter again.
My in-laws walk up and down the street all the time, every day, and pick up trash.
All right. So it's not unique to Florida?
No, it is not. Another one, lost cats and lost dogs, found cats and found dogs. That's not on this list.
Every day, lost dogs. And the other one here is really popular because, it's a bunch of old people and they have nothing else to do. What are they building in that spot on, on Route 200?
What are they building in the corner of Lindsay and 12?
Exactly. Now, I have to admit, I'm one that always looks at those and go, what are they building in?
Yeah, but does it make you go in and post? Did anybody see those lights last night? It was a spaceship.
Yes. So another one we get a lot here because everybody's an import, right? So it's always, where can I get the New York pizza like back home? Or where can I get the Chicago sub like back home? It's always like back home, the food that I can get. And another one we get here, because a lot of it's, now been taken over by subdivisions, is, can we have chickens? That's a very popular one.
Can we have chickens?
Yeah, you live rural, so you can have chickens, and people here have chickens whether they're allowed to or not. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's neighborhoods around here that have their own rules, but yeah, that's definitely one thing that they do, is trying to figure out what they can get away with in their neighborhood.
Oh, you probably get this too, because you're in a college town. Complaints about the traffic. Oh, and also every accident that happens, somebody reports it immediately. Traffic's tied up on this road because of an accident, and they always take pictures as they're going by and post the pictures.
Oh, well, no, we don't have that one, because I mean, there's like one road that goes through here. But one thing that we do get a lot is either when they are building that building, anybody know what's going to go there? And it will inevitably be another fast food. Oh. Like, why do we need 42 fast food restaurants in this small town? And there's 2 restaurants.
Because you're at your college town. That's why.
I know.
So we have the other problem. When we moved here, there were no mini markets that were of any size, no Wawas or anything like that. They were just little dumpy ones. And now there's just nothing but huge Wawas and 7-Elevens. Now there's a Buc-ee's going in. And the other thing we have a ton of are car washes. There must have been 20 car washes built in the last 2 years, and storage facilities. There are storage facilities everywhere. The one road within a mile, there's 3. It's who's storing all this stuff?
Yeah, there's a lot of storage facilities. I'm going to say something that's going to upset our listening audience.
Jennifer at horseradionetwork.com for all your complaints.
All your complaints. So Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I think it's stupid.
Well, the Buc-ee's they're putting here will be the second largest in the world with 125 pumps.
Yeah. I mean, it's stupid. Everybody, oh my God, you got to go to Buc-ee's. Everybody in Oklahoma has these
like
stupid
meat.
shirts.
Buc-ee's kind of a meat place.
They were making sausage and egg and biscuits, and I walked in. I was like, "Hey, can I get one just without the sausage?" And he opened up the thing and peeled it off.
I told you they don't want you there.
I was like, "No, they're making them. Can you just make one without it?" No.
This is a jerky, barbecue, and sausage place.
And Buc-ee's retail crap, like blankets and shirts and hats.
And they must sell it. Look how many they're building.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, everybody in Oklahoma has a Buc-ee's shirt. And if you walk around with a Buc-ee's shirt, if you don't know what a Buc-ee's is, it's like a ginormous gas station / Walmart.
It's bigger than most supermarkets. It's huge.
And I speaking of Wawas, you don't know what a Wawa is unless you live in Florida or the Southeast, I guess, because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, Northeast is where Wawa started. Now they've moved down here. Wawa has the best deli. It's so good.
Oh my God. Can I just tell you this? Yes. My brother moved to Florida, and he doesn't really cook. So he was using the DoorDash, and he apparently went to work one day and he was like, "Y'all, I found the best sandwiches for DoorDash. It's a restaurant called Wawa. I've never heard of it before." And he's been thinking he's been ordering from a fancy restaurant these really nice sandwiches. And his friends at work were like, "That's a gas station." He was like, "No."
They're really good, though.
It's funny. It's this restaurant called Wawa. I don't even know where it is.
It's probably right down in the corner from it.
Yeah. I'm like, you could literally walk there, but you're paying $10 extra for it. It's
okay, that's the first one I've ever heard somebody getting a Wawa delivery. Oh, that's funny. Okay, we got to get to a guest. I knew you would enjoy that one, though. All of us have read every one of those all the time, every day.
Have you checked for? I picked up a dog at 10:30 at night one time, and they were like, "Did you?" I posted, "Did you check for a microchip?" No, I can't. It's 10 o'clock at night. You should take him to the clinic. I'm like, but it's 10:30 at night. He's in the barn. He's fine. How dare you not check? I'm like, you want me to go to the emergency clinic in Oklahoma City, 45 minutes away, so I can go get the dog skin? How about people just wait till tomorrow?
I keep him alive till tomorrow morning?
Yeah, he's fine.
That's
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy
Happy birthday to several auditors. And we have hosts today, too. Kat Gunther of the Quarter Horse Podcast. Happy birthday to you. I'll be taking over. Ashley usually does that one, but she's out for the next 3 months, so I'll be co-hosting over there. Kelly Jones, Aaron King, Allie Henninger, Allison Renborg of the Equine Affair Podcast. So happy birthday to all of you.
Oh, congratulations to Taylor and her new husband. Her Taylor DeSabatino, now Taylor Lambert, got married. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, Glenn, how cool is this? They got married at the Kentucky Derby Museum, which was awesome. So she works
posted
for
a bunch of pictures. They were really cool.
Had to. So I met her. She came to dinner when I was at in Kentucky in April, and met her and her husband. She works at Equibase. I use that website probably 10 times a day. Equibase is where you can go look up all the information on off the track thoroughbreds or great racehorses. And so it was really interesting to talk to her and talk about the staff that they have running that website. It was so cool. I don't know. I just love that website.
I didn't know that's where she worked.
Yeah, she works. We need to have her on to talk about that, because she got married at the Derby Museum. Obviously, she's a huge fan of racehorses, but I think my favorite picture was her in her wedding dress on one of the horses. What are they called?
It's like a simulator horse rider thing with the horse, and there's screens in front of you like you're racing.
Yeah, but what's the one Frankie made? What are they called?
It wasn't an equicizer, I don't think. I think it's electronic, actually tied to the screens.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
But to get married at the Kentucky Derby Museum is so fantastic.
I didn't even know you could do that, but there you go. That's
pictures
cool.
taken out. Oh my gosh, it was fantastic, because the museum is at Churchill Downs, so It was super cool.
Yeah, that was very cool. And you know what? It's kind of a cool place. I don't know if you've ever done the tour when nobody's there, but it's just cool to be there actually when nobody's there too and do the tour. It's just kind of cool. All right, let's get right after this word from Kentucky Performance Products. Let's get to our first guest. We have Ivan McClellan coming on. He's the author of a book called 8 Seconds, Black Rodeo Culture. He also just put on a rodeo that we want to talk to him about. It's the first of its kind, and it honors black rodeo athletes, and he did it over Juneteenth weekend, and it sold out. And you've just been to a rodeo. You now have a feeling for how popular rodeos are. So
it was so fun. Except for the cow stretching.
Yeah.
This Nutritional Minute is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. More and more horse owners are managing older horses. One of the best ways to care for the senior horse in your life is by prioritizing their digestive tract health. Older horses are less able to maintain a well-balanced microbiome and repair and replace damaged tissues. This can lead to an uptick in ulcers, colic, or free fecal water syndrome. Poor gastrointestinal health decreases the horse's ability to digest and absorb adequate nutrients. It also impacts the effectiveness of the immune system, leaving older horses less able to fight off diseases such as EPM. Adding a research-proven digestive supplement to your older horse's diet can help maintain a healthy GI tract and reduce the incidence of digestive issues. We recommend Probiotic Wise to our customers with senior and geriatric horses. Probiotic Wise contains the true probiotic Saccharomyces boulardii. Unlike other yeast-based probiotics, S. boulardii remains viable through the acid environment in the stomach. It supports the healing of damaged tissues, reduced inflammation, and the optimal digestion and absorption of nutrients. Furthermore, Probiotic Wise contains fermentation metabolites that support a well-balanced microbiome. Probiotic Wise is sold through your veterinarian, so ask your vet if Probiotic Wise is right for your older horse. You can learn more about Probiotic Wise at kppvet.com. Got questions about your feeding program? We can help. Email Karen at questions@kppusa.com or call us at 859-873-2974.
Ivan, thanks for joining us on this Friday morning.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Where in the country are you?
I'm at the moment in Portland, Oregon.
Is that where you live, out in the Northwest?
Yeah, I stay here. I was just in Indiana yesterday, and I'll be in LA in a couple of days.
Oh, wow. Cool. Very good. Well, I said to everybody that the name of the book is 8 Seconds, Black Rodeo Culture. And I understand that this was years in the making. So tell us about it, why this book, and how it came about.
Yeah, it's been a decade of work, hanging out on fences, sweating, running from bulls, documenting this culture. I ran into it in 2015. I really didn't know anything about black rodeos, and a friend of mine, Charles Perry, was doing a documentary about black cowboys, and I just got really curious about it and flew out with him to a rodeo in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, and saw thousands of black cowboys. And it was Western culture, which I had always loved as a kid, but never knew the black folks were engaged in, mixed with black culture, which I was really familiar with. And it was just like this seamless marriage between the two. So I kept going back, kept shooting the culture, kept being curious, meeting people. And, after a few years, I started to realize that I had a really good collection of this work, these photos and these stories, and compiled those into a book.
Were you a photographer?
Yeah, I'm a photographer by trade. That's my primary skill set. Yeah.
Had you ever ridden a horse before doing all this?
Yeah, we would ride horses after church. We go in our church clothes to a ranch called Benjamin Ranch in Kansas City, Kansas, where I grew up, and we'd ride ponies back there. It was my first exposure to horses. I'd ridden them a few times as an adult, but I got more into horse riding through this work.
I'm sure your mama loved it when you would go in your church clothes to the barn.
Yeah, it was my grandma. We would beg her to go when we drove by the ranch, and every once in a while she would stop and let us go get on a horse in our slacks and button down.
You could probably get more kids to go to church if you promised them riding after, though.
Completely. Yeah, we had, Kansas, we were pretty country. We would go to the church picnic, and I would crawl into the petting zoo and lay on a pig and hang out with goats, and that's just kind of how we lived.
So you traveled all over the country for this. Yet what challenges did you face? I mean, you were traveling a lot. Was it hard? I mean, it must have been really hard to decide which photos to put in the book. Oh yeah, I couldn't do it.
I edited a version of the book myself, and it had like 1,000 photos in it. And I had a friend over to the house who's a designer, and he was like, "This doesn't have to be your only book. Like you can make multiples. Like take it easy with the amount of photos." So I called an editor, Sarah Rosen, and she ended up really crafting it into a coherent story. And she was like, "It doesn't have to be all of your best photos. It has to be a good story." And so there are photos of churches and just fields that I ran across to kind of paint the scene. And then there are photos of people just sort of hanging out before rodeos. And then there are some action shots. We really decided that the narrative was going to be a day in the rodeo. And that's how it turned out. Challenge wise, I would say the biggest challenge doing the work was the pandemic. That was right in the middle of me documenting this world, and a lot of the rodeos shut down, and trying to find the ones that were open was very difficult online, and just traveling with the N95 on, and once you got to Texas, it really didn't matter because everybody was just living normal down there, but getting there was a challenge and sometimes a little scary.
So, all of our listeners are riders. They all have horses. If they don't ride, they drive like me. So, we're all involved in the horse world. What surprise will people get who look at this book, especially horse people? What will they be surprised by?
I think a lot of it will be really familiar. I think it's just like that black culture is at the forefront of it. A lot of it is just people standing with their horses very pridefully. A lot of the photos are me on the ground and looking up at a person on horseback, and they look really regal, but they might be wearing a do-rag, or they might have a grill in, or they might have on gold chains or basketball shorts, and it's the presence of Black culture in a really natural way that I think makes the work different. It really goes against the grain of what we've seen from John Wayne and popular media, and says, here's a Black man in Black cultural clothing in a very heroic in a very Western way.
I love the photo. I went to your website, which is 8secs.com. And the photo of the young woman with the overalls holding the big bay horse. Oh, that is a powerful, beautiful photograph. Wow. Really impressive.
Yeah. That's Margie Gibbings, who's become a good friend of mine. And that horse is like 18 and a half hands.
I was wondering, I'm like, either she's tiny or he's ginormous.
No, she's 5'7". That horse is a dinosaur. And
God.
She breeds and trains race horses in Oklahoma, in Yukon, Oklahoma. And we were just standing out there in a field waiting for a cloud to pass over the sun for about 15 minutes. And the cloud came over and we snapped that shot, and it just is a classic. People love that photo, and it's one of my favorites as well.
Basically my neighbor, so I think I need to go meet her. I live in Norman, so Oklahoma, so we're pretty much going to be best friends after this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. She's really friendly. I think she's got about 15 horses that she races down there, and she's trying to start a breeding program, and she's in her 20s, so she's one of the only Black women that she sees in that scene, and so she's really a pioneer in the space.
Jamie trains retired racehorses. They come off the track. She trains them up for their next job. So you should meet her.
I should.
Yeah. So I got another question. I read a little bit about this, so I already know the answer, but I gotta believe that the food is better at Black rodeos than any other rodeo.
We're not going to compare ourselves to other folks, but it is different. And
it's better.
It's got to be better.
I go and find the smoked turkey leg when I go to Okmulgee. There's a man that's got this device that spins around. It's like a rotisserie, and he won't sell you a smoked turkey leg on Friday because they're not done. But on Saturday night, he opens up this machine and he'll give you a turkey leg, and you can barely hold it without the meat falling off the bone. It's one of my favorite things in the world. And it's a family reunion like atmosphere out on the lawn. There's, people frying chicken, there's barbecue. It's really a food scene. You can walk up to anybody and walk away with a single delicious rib. And keep shooting. It's more,
I figured it was more like a tailgate than your typical rodeo with just the, carnival booths kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not like that at all. Yeah. None of it is very formal. It's just somebody pulling up, selling really, really sweet, really delicious lemonade out the bed of their truck.
I love that. And then the one other question I have for you before we get to the rodeo you just put on was, have you been on a bull yet?
No, and I never will be.
Smart man.
I'm 42, and I've got 3 kids, and it's just not for me. Oh. And then just my stature, I'm 6'1". I'm a heavy guy. I'm not a bull rider, and
most of us aren't.
Even when I was younger, that just wouldn't have been for me. I'm way too tall. I would just flop around on there and hit the ground real hard. So
I went to a rodeo last weekend, and that was pretty much everybody's bull ride was flopping around and then ending up on the ground. So you wouldn't be that out of place.
It was the same case at our rodeo too, but they're making the bulls ranker and ranker, so it's getting tough out there.
Everybody listening to this has been bucked off by their horse at one point or another, and they're all wondering why people do that intentionally. So
yeah,
exactly.
So you did a rodeo a week or two ago. Was this your first one that you actually put on?
No, this is the second year that we did it. Yeah,
and it's called 8 Seconds Juneteenth Rodeo up there in Portland, and it was sold out. This must have been so much fun for you.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was hard as heck. It was very difficult because we were in an arena in downtown, so we're not in a traditional rodeo grounds. we're in the hockey arena. So they took all the ice out, and then we loaded in 17 dump trucks of dirt. We have concert level lighting. We've got, beautiful audio, and then we packed that arena out with 7,200 people.
Wow.
So it was a performance. It was a show, an enormous show, and a huge undertaking. And my job was the job of fireman. I just was sort of settling down chaos all day and went home exhausted. But that night, my wife and I went on to Instagram and started looking at all the stories that people had shared and realized that people just had a moment of absolute joy. Most of the folks had never been to a rodeo. And
that's what I love about you doing it downtown is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really exposing a lot of new people to the culture. I would say something like 85-90% of the people that were there have never been to a rodeo before. But they came to ours and were absolutely enamored with the culture and are thrilled to go to other rodeos around the state.
Well, I should rephrase the question then. So everybody else had fun.
Everybody else had fun. Yeah, everybody else had a blast. Everybody else had the time of their lives. Me, I took the hit for them for sure.
But I do love that
think
you
my
did this.
My wife ran 11 miles that day, putting out fires. So yeah, it was pretty intense.
Would you do it? You going to do it again?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we for some reason love the hard work.
You love torture.
We love the chaos. Yeah, exactly.
What's funny though? Yeah. We've all run events that are here on this call, and you by the 11th month, the month before the next one, you've kind of forgotten the bad parts because you're into how exciting it's going to be for the good parts until it starts day one, and then you remember all the bad parts again. It's like, oh yeah. That's right.
Didn't you do it again the next year?
Yeah, you have a short memory. I think is the only reason why anyone would get into this game. But,
you have 11 months to heal before it starts all over.
We're already planning the next one. We're already into it. So,
well, I love the fact that you do this in town. We always talk about how can we get non-horse people exposed to horses, or even just farms and life, animals, other than dogs. And you're out there doing it. So good on you.
Yeah, we had kids walking out petting bucking bulls, and I mean they were with one of the bullfighters, but they were just showing them, hey, there's nothing to be afraid of with these animals unless you get on their back, and then it's a big problem.
So where can people find your book?
I think they're at Amazon on Amazon.com. I think Barnes and Noble still has some as well.
I did check a couple places were sold out of them, so good for you.
Yeah, a lot of places are sold out, but I think you can get one at either of those two places.
We'll put links to that in our show notes so you can find the book directly. It's called 8 Seconds Black Rodeo Culture. Ivan, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, much appreciated. And yeah, go out and see Margie if you get a chance.
All right, sounds good.
Tell me her last name again, Margie what?
Margie Givings.
Givings, okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And we will look forward to the next book.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk to you when that one comes out.
All right. Please definitely let us know. All right. Thanks, Ed.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
When he told me he had it in the hockey rink downtown, I was like, that's brilliant.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? The monumental amount of work.
Well, how do you get the trailers down there with all the animals was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Most downtowns, I'm not sure you'd be able to do it, but good for him. All right. Why don't you tell us about Kent, and then I'll get Katie on with our scoop from the United Kingdom.
No one knows your horse's thoughts, emotions, and moods as well as you. Just as in touch as you are with their personality, Sentinel's expert nutritionists are in tune with their dietary needs, with feeds in the form of extruded nuggets to provide exceptional nutrition and formulas made for every stage of life and activity level. Sentinel's wide choice of carefully crafted feeds makes it easy to find the perfect fit to better your horse's health. Learn more at feedsentinel.com/horse radio network. That's feedsentinel.com/horse radio network.
Well, unfortunately, Kate, we couldn't get a hold of Katie. She had something come up. It's late for day on Friday there, so who knows? But Katie, we'll get back to her. She comes on a regular basis. But I did want to talk to her about the British Olympic teams because they're going to be contenders this year, as they always are. Well, in any case, we're going to get to some really bad ads right after I tell you about Care Credit. As horse owners, we have an unlimited supply of love for our animals, but we tend to underestimate the cost of their care. Routine and unexpected expenses can add up quickly, making it hard to keep pace. Wouldn't it feel great to always be prepared with a budget-friendly way to manage these costs? The Health and Animal Care Credit Card from Care Credit can give you the financial peace of mind that you're looking for. With flexible financing from Care Credit, you can get the care your horse needs and then pay over time in paying in monthly payments. You can use Care Credit at more than 25,000 veterinary hospitals. I didn't even know there were that many, to be honest, that accept the card. And use it to pay for everything from diagnostics and surgery to wellness exams and routine care. Care Credit, it's your card for a lifetime of care. Subject to credit approval. To learn more and apply, visit carecredit.com/vetmed. carecredit.com/vetmed.
Easy, effective, and eco-friendly fly control starts with fly predators. Fly predators are the organic, natural way to dramatically minimize your fly problem. Learn more about fly predators and other Spalding Labs fly control solutions at Spalding, spalding-labs.com.
If you ain't met one by now, you're bound to sooner or later. He says one thing and he means another, but hey, he can't help it. He's a horse trader. Horse trading, well, it's a laissez-faire. Let the buyer beware. Horse trading, they tell a low-down lie with a sincere stare. Horse trading, well, if they're talking in circles and the deal ain't square, he's a master in the fine art of persuading. Horse trading.
That's right. It's time for Really Bad Ads, that time of the week when listeners submit ads from Facebook or Craigslist or something like that, and we just have a little bit of fun with them. We give away prizes every month. Last week we gave away the prizes, so we have brand new prizes for you this month. Prizes are provided by HorseLovers.com, home to over 120,000 horse products for you, your horse, and your barn. That's HorseLovers.com. And the first prize is a Kensington Fly Mask, the Cadillac of fly masks. The Kensington Fly Mask is made with plush fleece trim and ears and is made with the strongest material on the market today called textiline. And it's the absolute best way to protect your horse. The material is specially formulated to withstand fading, soiling, wear and tear, and is mildew and fire resistant. I never thought about having a fire-resistant fly mask, although it's been so hot here some days.
I know, right? They won't just catch on fire. Yeah. It sounds like I've said this before with Kensington products. I feel like one of their employees is Tony Stark, and they really work on all of the technology that they have with their stuff. So, I mean, that one has UV protection and all that too. They also have the Kensington Slow Feed Hay Bag, and you can use it at home, on the road. It's a 2x2 mesh netting, slowing down their eating, which aids in digestion and contributes to overall health. They also have an adjustable nylon strap that has a swivel to allow the bag to be hung in a variety of ways. Durable denier fabric made in Alabama. You usually hear made in America. This is very specific. It's made in Alabama, specially formulated to withstand fading, fire, mildew, and wear and tear, even in the most extreme weather conditions.
There we go. So there's our prizes for the month, and we'll give those away at the end of the month.
Well, keep in mind that if you are going to submit your really bad ads, they go to Jennifer@horseradionetwork.com and send a screenshot, because the links don't really work, because by the time you check them, they're usually gone. So if we didn't get to yours today, Michelle, Rosemary, Kathleen, and Sandra, you are still in. Why don't you go ahead and do Jennifer's?
Jennifer's. This is very short, but kind of applies to you in a way. Ann Arbor Area Horse People Facebook page. It's very short. Can anyone recommend a good person to tune up a horse trainer? TIA.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I love the comment underneath it.
I'm a horse trainer and I totally need a tune-up. I'm a mess from my tires to my computer system.
There's a lot of horse trainers that need tune-ups. That's why I go to the movement every year, to get my tune-up.
This is so funny. I was like, oh my God, she's calling Uncle Vito. Give him a tuna.
I got a guy. Sherry sent in the next one, and I think it's a Craigslist ad, and it says, wanted, the horse you don't want to sell. Offer, 5-star home, vet references, farrier references, a note from my grandma who's responsible for my horse habit, a credit check, and a background check. Job description. Lowland trails, occasional riding lessons, standing quietly in the shade for spa treatments that may include but are not limited to foo-foo cleaning, conditioning products, hoof paint that may or may not improve hoof condition, impressive wardrobe of bespoke tack items of questionable color combinations.
She must be an inventor.
Suitable names: Ben, Mavis, Henry, and Violet. Unsuitable names: Satan, Morticia, Hellbent, Son of Satan, Witch, or anything that rhymes with witch. Must-haves: 15 to 16 hands, sound, great feet, kind temperament, happily loads and travels, history of great times with you dating back to before your last kid was born or your last breakup, whichever is longer. We'll be in your area June 27th to the 30th. Shoot me a message on what you don't want to sell.
That was clever. That was a very well-written ad.
That was good.
I like that one. All right. Let's hear Janelle. She read her own.
Hello, this is Janelle in North Carolina, and I'm here to read a really bad ad. This is from the Western North Carolina Equestrians Facebook group. ISO, covered arenas that accept haul-ins within an hour-ish of Hendersonville/DuPont. Look, y'all, Summer and I broke up years ago, but we try and keep it civil for the kids and all. And these super sunny, hot days have my autoimmune issues tripping like one of those Rick James sketches from a Chappelle show. I'm trying to get more saddle time in, and here I am thinking that this would be a solution. Hookup trailer. Lights check. Drive to barn. Find horse. Clean horse. Load tack and supplies. Load horse. Turn on horse cooling unit in trailer. Troubleshoot why it's not working. Remember to add ice. Get back on the road. Arrive. Check in and pay. Unload. Tack up. Ride for 30 minutes. Reverse previous steps. Do barn chores at home farm. Lay down in the barn swing for just a minute already. Google ICD 10 codes, including Z codes, applicable to horse ownership is an illness sequel. Shop online ads for guinea pigs instead. Buy another saddle while online. So I hope you enjoyed and have a good day, everybody.
Clever ad is the theme today.
I need a barn swing. I want a barn swing. How do I get a barn swing? That sounds awesome. Mackenzie sent the next one in, and she took my advice, which was if you want to find really bad ads, all you have to do is go to the Facebook page called Oklahoma Horses. I mentioned it last week. It is a plethora of awesome, terrible ads. All right. So, I mean, I'm assuming they're trying to say I don't know.
I don't know what they're saying. Gentle,
I guess. But what it looks like is there's a letter J, the word into L. J into L. J. I'm going to say that every time that the word is there. J into L. J into L. J into L. Filly little under 2 years old. Halter broke. J into L. J into L. J into L. Period. 8 blank face emojis. And
so
it's a picture.
You can get a gentle for $800.
I don't even know what. Again, it's Oklahoma Horses Facebook page. They're going to have a rush on people applying. Please do. It is always awesome.
It does look like barbed wire fence, which is common in the West as well, which I could never do with Scooter because he'd die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this one is J into L, so you have nothing to worry about.
Good one. That was great. That was the best line of the day. Clark sent the trailer of the week. There is never-ending supply of these. One thing I will say, we've been picking on these 2-horse round-fronted trailers for 10 years, but yet they're still here. I mean, they're not in great condition, but most of them. They're still here.
I looked at this one. And I'm like, that's not that bad until you look
inside. So this is an older 2-horse bumper pull that needs some work. Nothing fancy. Yeah, no kidding. Listing for a friend, located in Stamping Ground, Kentucky. And it's the 2-horse trailer. Now, it's multiple colors of brown and red and rust. But the one thing about this is it's not in the weeds. The hitch looks like it might actually work. And the tires have air. Now, apparently it comes with a lady who's half in and half out of the trailer in the back. I don't know if you noticed. Why did he take the picture with her butt in it? I don't know. And then you look inside the trailer, and you probably get all the crap that's loaded in there to the ceiling that goes with it. I couldn't tell what any of it was.
Like I said, it's not a terrible looking trailer. I mean, it's a terrible old 2-horse, but again, tires air. That looks like the jack works, but they have probably 10,000 pounds worth of items inside the trailer. Like
old dead wood.
Yeah. Old wood, looks like an old shop vac or so. I don't know. It's a mess.
But they wanted $1,000 for that too. That's a little overpriced. Maybe
what a steal.
Our price is $400. That's our maximum.
And by the way, Stamping Ground, Kentucky is Stamping Ground. Stamping Ground.
Stamping Ground?
It's a place.
Is
Stamping
it a place?
Ground.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought they wrote it wrong.
Stamping Ground. Okay, so the next one was sent in by Diane and Zoe. They both get credit for this. Remember, if you send it in yourself, like you record it, like your voice, just like, who was it, Diane or Janelle did, then you get double the entries. If you record it in an accent that is not your own, triple the entries, because it just makes me so happy. But this next one, Virginia.
I wish we had Debbie to read this in her Virginia accent.
Oh, I can try. The white claws made me buy 'em. I've once again forgotten I am indeed not as young as I once was. Had a baby 2 months ago, and it's hotter than hell in the middle of July. Well, I live in Pennsylvania, and that's close enough to hell. But we won't go there. Moving on. Dancing girl emoji. This incredibly good-looking guy's name is Wink, because if he was a dude, he'd wear pit vipers, drive a jacked-up truck, and work out of state. He would probably have an Android and not an iPhone, so you can't see his location. The type of guy you can't tell his red flags, or if you're just blinded by his good looks to only see green. And he'd wink at you while you're fully colorblind. I don't know what breed he is. He's an Amish Special 2.0 is what I like to say. You all know I'm an Amish pony repurpose program. I hope I can follow along and see how this pony turns out, because he'd make a great sale pony project, and I'm excited for whoever gets him. Genuinely. I'll throw in a few claws, too, to help you feel better about your decision.
We need to get this woman on the show.
Yeah, you have her as your co-host. Next week, I'm going to tell you what I did, but not right now. I'm still sorting it out.
Oh my God. Caitlin sent this one in.
And
this is also in PA.
And Katie.
Oh, Katie. Okay, Caitlin and Katie. The 2 Ks. This is horses in New York and Pennsylvania. Oh, this is a long one. Let me get a drink first.
Yeah, don't have a white claw, you'll buy it.
Peep the Creep, a.k.a. Peep, is coming to a barn near you. Eye emoji. If Peep was a human, he would talk in a whisper, stare at you from across the bar, or be the neighbor you are convinced has people in his basement. God, they're good ads this week. In a pony, it's cute. In a human, it's weird. Anyway, let's begin. Peep stands 34 inches at the wither and will ride and drive. The dude is only 4 years old, but knows right from wrong. If my kid can slide off him, scream from on top of him, skirt trucks past him, so can yours. If you enjoy an incredibly small pony silently sneaking up on you to get as absolutely close as possible in a pasture for some scratches without you knowing it, Peep is your man.
Creepy!
Don't worry, he won't bite. Enjoy your soul being stared into from behind a fence post. Peep has you covered. I've tried to tell him he's small, but not small enough to completely hide behind the fence post. I have no reservations about Pete fitting in anywhere. He's a pony with an incredibly kind heart and such a wonderful mind. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, of course. No holds, trades, trials, leases, and no deposits. Happy to FaceTime with him in hand. I bet he would be right in your hand, too.
Again, it's just this week is really clever ads.
It is. I want Peep.
Until this next one. Oh, Lord.
Peep.
Well, the young woman who got My Daily Whitney, Taylor, has sent in an ad. And like we said, she got married in Kentucky. And I guess she lives in Kentucky. That or she was in Kentucky looking for really bad ads. And so this comes from the Kentucky Horses and Tack Facebook page. If you don't know for a fact, don't comment. All these are different lines, by the way, so I'm going to read them like with a dramatic pause in between. If you don't know for a fact, don't comment. 12-year Bay QTR Mer. Kid broke. 14-year buckskin gelding. Broke. Selling down on herd. McClellan, Tennessee. That means I asked for no money till you buy. Some lady seems to think I'm a scammer, and liking the post don't help. Find something to do, please.
She's had it.
I ain't no scammer, Glenn, okay? I'm just selling down on my herd, okay?
She's so done with this. Steph sent this one in. This is in Wisconsin and Minnesota. 6-year Oh, no punctuation.
Not a bit.
Oh, my God. It's all spaced out, too. I gotta think about it. This is going to be hard to read. 6-year grade Greenbroke mare was done nothing wrong under saddle, need to be finished and miles put on her, stand 14.3, saddle and load nice. Trailer. Good. Good for farrier. Serious inquiries only. Located in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And
wow.
I love the one picture. The one picture is of half of the horse's face and the very top of its body, which you can't see because it's a huge Western saddle. The other picture, it cuts he's eating, or she, I don't know, it's a he or she, I can't even, no, it doesn't say. So his head is down at the barbed wire fence, you'll notice, and you can only see the neck to the middle of the belly. No face, no back end.
No legs, no nothing.
Well, she figured maybe you put the two pictures together, you get a whole horse. I don't know.
Yeah, right? Well, it costs, number one, Glenn, don't forget, punctuation, we determined last weekend, cost extra.
Apparently.
And also, they're doing square inches of the horse for money for photographs, so they can't give you the whole horse. It's too expensive.
It's like, at least show me his head.
And Lindsay sent the last one in.
This one's not funny till you read to the bottom.
Okay. It's a picture of like a halter hanging on a wall and like a chair leaning against the wall. And it says, we used to have 2 horses that have now passed away. We have saddles, bridles, halters, anything. And the price, $1 million.
It is priceless. And you look at these halters and stuff, they've been used for a long time.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a brand new blue halter and I'm going to set it out in the sun for about 6 months. And then I'm going to list it for sale for $1 million.
So what price were they really trying? 100, 10, 1,000? What do you think?
I don't know. There's no way knowing.
Yeah. Lindsay lives in the South too. So there you go.
Oh, bless her.
We've had a lot of Southern ads today, and we've had a lot of very clever ads today. That seemed to be our theme. Unfortunately, I have to get out to the farm. We're meeting somebody out there today. Unfortunately, it's not the well drillers that were supposed to show up yesterday and haven't yet, which is holding up the whole project. So we're not going to be doing a post show.
Well, you know what's really fun, as much as I would love to, is my air conditioning broke, and I've been sitting through this entire show sweating. I have no AC, so I made some calls. Nobody's called me back.
That you just posted on your local Facebook page. That's a common one.
Yes. Anybody got some recommendations for somebody who'll come look at my air
conditioner today? And those ads always say, I need somebody to come look at my air conditioner today that's inexpensive, that doesn't charge much. They always say that. Yes.
Not an arm and a leg. Is
Right.
What they say all the
It's
time.
all the time. Every ad like that. I need my car repaired with a new motor, but I only want to spend $100. Yeah.
It's like, I want some real broke, gentle, well-trained, but I don't want to spend a lot of money.
You all be careful out there. I saw a lot of posts from Connecticut with damage from our listeners and stuff. So everywhere in the country, be careful. And we're watching a new hurricane developing in the Atlantic. So it's soon our turn. Thank you, everybody. See you. Have a great weekend.
Spay, neuter, and gelt.